the necklace designed by yours truly, and you see the decks. Choose one deck and let's get it.
Oh. Can you hear it in the atmosphere? Oh yes, it's the sound of the moment. Soak it in, deep inhale, long exhale. You already know what it is. Papa Wolf checking in once again. We made it. Unfather's Woodpeck, we have made it to another lovely Gregorian year. Maybe on a different scale for the EFI calendar, but sit tight, we have made it. So, we are here live. Happy Martin Luther King Jr Day. Happy full moon to all of my lovelies, unfollowers, and Wolfpack. Shout out to the Underground Railroad. Really, shout out to the Underground Railroad. And simply enough, if you out there stealing other people's cars, shit will not prosper. Something just told me to mention that. Some people out here are stealing cards, stealing tarot cards. You know what I'm saying? Whatever your form of divination, that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? Some are stronger mentalists, and they can just interpret with their minds. But for the collective, the unfollowers, you know, cards are always a good illustration, so that when you do read, you're able to show what you're doing. You know what I mean? So yeah, once again, shout out to Underground Railroad. Marie Laveau, let's go. We got the candles lit. We got the incense rolling. We got the water. We got the elements in the building. Mojuba Bobo Gungun, always to the death of me. So let us get into this. So tonight we got a little different format, but we here, right? It's gonna be like a little quick hitter. But we're going to see what's going on with the collective Gungun. We want to see and hear clearly. So if you chose from my metallic deck, this is your message today. And, you know, if you're not understanding what I mean, there was 3 different decks to choose between. The illustration should have been at the beginning. And now, I give it back to you. I had a reading for December, but, you know, Spirit said to hold that in. Do y'all see this light? Do you see this light hitting me right? Isolation is elevation. You better understand. Isolation is elevation. So like I said, if you picked my metallic deck, this is your message tonight. Oh, should I go on or should I pause right there? Because they jumping out. So if you drew from the metallic deck, this card that you received is the Queen of Hearts. New series. Queen of Hearts, so serious. So naturally, when you look at the Queen of Hearts, you get a feminine type of vibe. You know, we're talking about the Queen Bee. But for this particular card, there is some type of masculine energy that is coming through at this time. We always give our respects to our mothers because obviously they're the ones that have birthed nations, but we have to understand that the formation of a nation is curated through the hands of our fathers, right? And so not only with the manual aspect of the masculine energy, we also had healers. Today we talk about babalawos. We talk about the rootsmen, the bushmen. We talk about all these different titles of healing, but we really had those spiritual leaders that were fortifying the walls of churches, that were fortifying the walls of communities, community leaders. And there were people that would go to your fathers for assistance, for wisdom, for logic, for practicality, would go to these individuals because they operated out of a place of healing. They operated out of a place of good nature. This kind of reminds me of my grandfather, Ashe, Mojuba Bobo, Egungun. It reminds me of that level of servitude, right? This is what it speaks of, a servant leader, someone willing to stand in the forefront. So at this time, you may be having these particular energies coming through to aid in your work, in your efforts, and whatever you're trying to accomplish, whether it be on a grand scale of material or on an introspective level of healing, right? So that's Queen of Hearts. So if you chose from my middle deck, this one's a little easier money. You got a little easier money for this. I see you, Marie. We just, as I'm doing what I need, one of the things I think about, we're always in a constant state of preparation, because we always trying to set ourselves and get ahead, being ready instead of having to get ready. So there's always preparation taking place. So if you drew from the lovely middle deck with our beautiful Iami sitting down, this card is for you. The Jack of Spades. That's a mean jack right there. The Shepherd indicates an intense love of life and strong fellow feeling. Life and strong fellow feeling. So for this card, it's speaking about reaching beyond the horizons, reaching beyond our current setting. This card speaks of some sort of exploration. A gungun is, and when I say a gungun, I'm saying ancestors. A gungun is setting the path for us to step outside of our boundaries or comfort zone. Giving us opportunity to live life more. This is, in different communities or neighborhoods, and I speak more so for Pensacola, some people have not left the boundaries or the county lines of Pensacola. And Pensacola extends further out than just Escambia. But I bring this up to say that even in the midst of COVID, this is time to step outside of our comfort zones or boundaries and experience more. Experience things further than ourselves. Using our intuition to its highest potential to experience more. You know, we didn't come to this earth to be stagnated, to be lame, to be boring. This is the marketplace, so we should adequately enjoy it to its potential. You know, not getting caught in any cycles of apparent boredom or being fearful of what may come about. Life is never a mistake. Life is never an ill, it's a lesson. It's on us whether or not we're going to hear it or not. So that is for those that chose from Milnet. And last but not least, we're going to tap into this fire deck because it's also fire. So right now we have cards in all the high courts. So we're talking about more ancient, pre-mortal, ancient ancestors. That's fine. Wow. Okay. Well, we'll do it like that then. If you chose this deck, the fire deck, this is speaking. And the funny thing about it wasn't even an actual card, but I'll draw one. You know, a little sleeper card. But this card is telling me that you have fiery ancestors that are trying to communicate. Fiery ancestors that want you to be more courageous inside of yourself. They want you to speak up for yourself, not let people trample or walk over you. It's a level of tolerance that comes with dealing with fiery spirits like this, but you know, fire is always good in the aspect of purification, clearing the way, you know. So with that being said, tapping into these type of fiery spirits, the ones that were hotheads, the ones that were quick wit, say it like that, quick wit, were able to respond quickly in a manner to where they got their message across. It may have been received, may have not been, but at least they were quick on their feet to be able to be responsive in a time of confrontation. Those ancestors are also trying to come through, you know. But let's see what we got. 10 of spades. 10 of spades. No, 10 of clubs, I'm sorry. 10 of clubs. Very basic illustration. Very basic illustration. 10 of clubs. So we are looking at garments. Oh, okay. Okay. So since we're talking about an historical holiday that has significance for the Africans of this land, one thing we have to think about is garments and gardening. garments and gardening. Read between the lines from garments. So we're talking about ancestors of the fields. Ancestors of the fields. We're talking about the herbalists. We're talking about the sharecroppers. We're talking about those individuals that did what they had to do in order to survive. Pretty much being able to work the land, having a better concept of using God's green creation to its fullest potential for sustainability, for independence, for vitality, for longevity. How do we cultivate? How do we use the resources right at our disposal? Type thing. This is what this card is speaking of. It's a pop-up. It's a pop-up. Peekaboo. It's a pop-up. This was short, but always important. Always important. And overall, I can see a common trend amongst all three cards that we drew. And hopefully the information that I have presented will help those for this full moon energy that we're stepping into, for this winter season, for all the cosmic interactions that are taking place, for the energy fields of the different time zones, etc., etc., etc. Hope that this information can be used appropriately. There's gonna be a different format for this year. Be on the lookout like always. Be on the lookout for new and approved Delta Violet Trail products, etc., etc., etc. We just warming up. We're just warming up. Yet the best has yet to come. The best has yet to come. The best has yet to come. So be on the lookout. And I hope that we all are trying to work more closely with our gungun, because they are up close and personal, and they're our customer service. They want to work. They want to work for us. So do the necessary work. Stay prayed up till your days up. And we'll be back. We'll be back. Papa Wolf checking in. Papa Wolf checking out.